Sorry about that. My phone fell on my hand. But speaking about hitting, but with this group, so they ended up spending over $100 to get one of their friends at the time here. I say at the time because they were like really close friends. Uh, but apparently, her goal the entire time was to draw a wedge in between the main couple in the household by having some intercourse with the male. And it worked. While pretty much everyone's asleep, they end up doing it in the bathroom. And he originally lied about it. So, typical guy. I personally would never do that. But still. So, yeah. So, I was like the last to know about it because I honestly don't care. I don't get angry with people until I get the full story, unless it's directed to me or about me. Which this didn't really involve me, so I was more collecting information, and I was being the only like sober head, and it actually got to a point where the head female of the household beat the holy bejesus out of that girl. Uh, Mostly because of that, but also because when we came home, she was on the phone with someone, uh, and she was already like irritable and ready to fight as it is. And then that black chick that she was on the phone with, uh, end up saying, you won't hit her, blah 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 blah," and a bunch of other crap, and that really pissed her off. It's like, don't tell me what to do, and she went all ham on that chick, and yeah, it got to the point where I actually called the cops, and I don't call the cops very often. I'm 22 years old, going on 23, and I've only called the cops like 3 times. Uh, this one being the most serious. The other ones, it was because a driver had his or her kids on the back of the pickup truck. Um, which I find that very serious, personally. It's like, if they're in the bed, that's one thing, but they're actually on the tailgate of it. No. Like, I'm perfectly fine with the bed. I've done that several times, but not the tailgate while the car is moving. Uh, and moving like 30 miles an hour at that. And then another time it was because there was a dog on the road and I didn't know about the 411 at the time for a non emergency thing. Uh, so yeah. And then this time it was because the head male was severely arguing with the head female, and it was to the part where I didn't know what was going to happen. They both seemed really like at each other, so I personally called the police, and pretty much everyone there was the other more sober heads in the house was like, yeah, you did the right thing. No one got arrested or anything like that. The girl never came back, and yeah, her shit is still in the back of that one dude's car. Uh, because if it was still in the apartment or in the hallway where I put it in the hallway because she was no longer welcome in the apartment. Uh, and I even told her, it's like, she's lucky that I talked them into putting it in the hallway and not thrown out the flipping window. And she seemed really appreciated about it, which I didn't really do that for her. I did it more for the people in my apartment because that is destroying property, and she can actually get arrested for it. And she's already skating on thin ice as it is with beating holy crap out of the person, which that's already assault as it is, let alone destroying property at the same time. Uh, so yeah, that went down and all that. But going on about me, going away from all the trouble and why I'm no longer where I was and where I am now and stuff like that. I make no promises on how often I make videos right now. I was just in the mood, and it's actually a really nice day right now. The reason I'm out in my car is because the guy that doesn't have a license anymore, he's moving into another apartment, and we're taking his apartment eventually. So it's a lot of running in and out, and I told them yesterday, it's like, I don't feel like doing anything today. And it's going to be even worse when I actually get a job. And also, how do you guys like the beard? I'm kind of iffy about it. But one of my requirements for me looking for a job is not being required to shave. I find that unconstitutional personally, that jobs are allowed to require you to shave. Now, if it's like something like in the application, put it in the actual applications instead of like pretty much getting full on hired and say at the time you didn't have any facial hair besides your eyebrows, obviously. And it's like, oh, I kind of want to grow it out, and then they tell you, oh, yeah, you have to shave because we are required for you to shave. Which typically the only jobs that do that is like fast food types, which is understandable because they don't want hair in the food. But don't require them to shave. Offer them other to shave or offer them like a beard net. One or the other. That I'll be fine with. I'll be fully fine with the beard net. And the first job that required me to do one or the other, I actually really enjoyed. I may not enjoy beard nets very much, but I do prefer the beard nets because it's like my beard is like a part of me. It literally is. But I do get into moods, especially after a breakup, where I want to start fresh. So I typically shave like all my facial hair. May or may not keep my goatee at the time. It depends on my mood going into it. So yeah, I kind of want your guys' opinions. You guys have seen me with my three main styles, going with the beard. You've seen me with my goatee, which you can kind of see my goatee outlined. And you've also seen, well, you've seen me bald face, you've seen me goateed, and now you can see me with like a full-on beard. But I kind of want your guys' opinion about it. This is actually one of the times where you can say, you look like a fucking asshole, or shit face and shit like that, and I don't mind. I don't mind that type of stuff, personally. So yeah. You probably won't really catch much of a, like, bad tone with me if you guys say dumb shit like that. The worst I will do is probably just block you, depending on the type of comment it is, and if it is relevant or not. And I kind of want your guys' opinion about, well, the poly relationship. I'm curious about your guys' opinions about that. My rule is, if someone doesn't agree with the poly, just voice your side of it, but don't be an asshole about it, basically. Don't push like, oh, poly relationships are shit, and no. It's like, if you don't agree with poly relationships, just like, go, well, I don't agree with them. I don't think it's right, or poly relationships are against my religion, it's like, that's fine. Saying stuff like that is fine, but don't go, uh, poly relationships are Satan, or what, or about Satan. It's like, say that's against your religion is fine, but saying that you belong in hell and stuff like that, no. That is the fastest way for me to report you, because that is bullying. But just voicing your opinion is not bad. Like, voicing your opinion is actually really awesome. And I personally ask for you to voice your opinion, but don't be a dick about it. So keep that in mind. Now, I've been ranting for a bit. Although I have internet, supposedly my controller is no longer charging or something, and we only have one TV. And since it's not my place, I'm not really pushing to be on it. Plus, the internet is not 100% reliable. It sometimes goes out at random times, which is fine for if I'm watching videos or stuff like that, or playing games on my phone specifically, but live streaming, no. So yeah. I make no promises on how often I make videos. I will try to do them more, but again, I make no promises. Once I get an actual job, which hopefully will be soon, I have quite a few applications out of Verizon being one of them. I actually went in, not Verizon, Cricket. Cricket is actually one of them, and I ended up talking to the hiring manager in there, and he was like, "Yeah, we actually have 2 job openings." So my buddy who came with me, he ended up going in after me and ended up getting the website and all that. So him and I both filled out applications. And he filled out more than me. I am like, any place that requires me to shave, I'm not doing it. I'm not, like that's a flat out no for me. I wouldn't mind working with food, it is a flat out no if they require me to shave. It's like, at least offer beard nets at the very least. Temp services, I prefer getting an actual job, not through a temp service though. Temp service, I will be putting in applications for next month. If Solid Jobs don't reach back out to me or whatever. But since I don't have cell reception out here, I do have to go into town. Preferably once a day to make sure I don't have any missed calls and stuff. So yeah. Okay. Now, I don't have a computer or anything like that, so this is just a straight up like downloading stuff. So no editing really, because I don't have any ways to really do that right now. And I do apologize for making this into 2 different videos. Sorry, my finger slipped. Well, my hand slipped, and apparently it hit the finger to stop or whatever. Actually, I think it hit my most recent activity stuff is what it hit. But anyways, I think I'm going to call the video here. Well, I hope you all have a nice day. I'm trying to find good lighting, I guess. But I hope you all have a nice day. But this has been Beast. I can't say Mr. Beast because, like, I know that there's a Mr. Beast out there. But either way, I hope you guys have a nice day. And I'm curious, who is 420 friendly? Because I do smoke. And that's another one of my requirements for jobs is other not drug testing or don't drug test for cannabis. But also, what are your guys' opinions on cannabis? I'm interested to hear. I mean, honestly, for those who aren't with cannabis, learn something. Yes, it's not 100% healthy because you are allowing smoke into your lungs, but there are other ways to intake it, like through putting it in food. It still has a lot of health benefits. I'm not saying that 100% agreeing with smoking, but there's only so much you can do with it. But what are your opinions about cannabis? And what are some of your guys' stories for those who are 420 friendly? As well as I'm very open-minded when it does come to drugs, because you gotta think all medicines are drugs, but not all drugs are medicines. So yeah, but anyways, have a nice day and have a nice night, and I'll see you all next time.